Hey guys, how's it been going? This is Jason. In this video, we're gonna take a look at how the useState is working internally inside the React. This is the fifth video of my series React source code walkthrough. So if you haven't looked at my previous videos, please take a look on that. It's very important and very interesting. Let's just jump straight into our example here. We have a very straightforward counter application. This is a functional component. We use state, initialized to 0, and we have button rendered with a state. Every time the button is clicked, we increment the state. So the behavior is like click it 1, click 2, click 3, right? So let's debug this. Before we begin, let's recall what happens in React, a render. This is already in my previous video. Please take a look. So to summarize, either in the mount phase or the update phase, React will hold the internal representation of the whole structure of this app, and they will check the diff of each node, which is called fiber. And if there is something need to update, it will mark it, and it will all check the children of this fiber node, and all mark all the differences, and when everything is done, it will try to commit all those differences to reflect the differences into the DOM. All right. Okay. So there is this function component. When they are deciding what the children are, they will call the functional component directly because it's pure function. Okay. So the first step is add a debugger here to stop it here. Let's see what happens. Okay, so you stop here. Let's see what the call stack is. Okay, this is already very familiar, right? Here, update containers, schedule update on fiber. So there's something to update. Perform sync work on root is pretty familiar already, I think. Render with sync, there will be a while loop to continuously work on each fiber node. Okay, work loop on sync, perform unit of work. Cool, perform unit of work here, begin work. This should be on the first one, right? The first, the app directly. Begin work, this is begin work. Okay, let's just stop here and reload. Okay, so this is it. We can see that it will start building the tree, and we are coming at this work in progress. You can see that it's empty. Okay, ooh. 3 actually is the app, right? Host root, I believe. Okay, it will actually go to next one. Next one is app. Work root, yeah, element is app. You see now? And then the tag is 2. 2 is indeterminate component. Anyway, let's skip it for now. We go to the detail of this function. We can see that there is this call called render with hooks, right? And I think so. Component. Let's go. Yeah, it's a render with hooks. Work in progress. Component. This is the app, and props nothing. And in these render hooks, there is this thing. Actually, this right. The component is called directly. Okay, let's reload it and go to our debugger. Yeah. As we see that it says begin work, mount, render with hooks, render with hooks. In this function, we have this component being called. Okay, let's start. We'll skip those less important parts. Okay, so we'll creating a fiber tree. We could see that's this app, which should be the fiber. We are constructing it. Okay, and when it is constructed, it will use this app, right, component to get the children, which should return the button, right? So the app, okay, here app is called. And render the children, which is in the, okay, I'll just to write down something here. Yeah, here, begin work, render with hooks. Okay. Okay, creating one. Oh. Render with hooks. Ooh. So many, not so familiar with this one. Okay. App. Call it. Render with hooks. This is in the mount phase. I'll add a label here. This is the mount. And above it, there's something called the perform sync, right? Perform sync work, something, right? Wait a second. Perform sync work en route. Okay. Perform sync work en route. There is something in between. I'll leave it. I'll skip it. And then this app actually return the children, right? Return this is the children. And then the button stuff, the something. Okay. React will continuing perform work on the render with the hood performance in our route. Yeah, perform the sync work on these children and continuously. Okay, now let's see what happens in this use state. We continue inside it, and there's a dispatcher use state, right? Dispatcher use state, and okay. So in this app, when it is called, it's actually called the use state. Use state. Use state actually calls another use state, which is dispatcher use state. Okay. Which is dispatcher use state. And let's see, what is in it? It should actually return, as we would expected, it would be returned an array holding the state and the update function, right? Okay, let's continue seeing it. Actually, it return, what is it? Return, ooh, sorry, let's reload it. Return the, ooh, sorry. I forgot to set the breakpoint. Actually, it should return the mount state. Mount state. Okay, this sounds looks important. This is a mount state. Let's set it 0. Dispatcher use state 0. And then actually we have this function called mount state. Return children. I think this is good. Yeah, children. Okay. I think this is good enough. And just to return children. Okay, this is mount state. It initialized to also 0. So let's take a look at the logic in mount state. The hook is mount work in progress hook. Let's see what it is. We can see that we create a hook. It has a queue, has a next, and a memoir state. And the work in progress hook is actually currently it's now, right? Work in progress hook. Okay, let's keep a track of this. Okay, let's keep track of the global variables. Work in progress hook, and then we create a hook. Currently rendering fiber. It must be the fiber we're currently working on. Yeah, this is the app, current working fiber. Memo state is set to work in progress hook. Okay, so actually, we see that memo state is actually the hook, the initial hook. Okay, we said, actually we have a hook. Now, a hook through the memo state. We can forget about the name. There must be some reasons why React team choose this name. Work in progress hook, and yeah, this is the initial state. So we return this hook. So work progress hook now is this hook actually. Yeah, cool. And then we go to the next one. Initial state 0. Okay, so hook memo state is hook base state. And initial state. Now, initial state, you set memo state hook this hook. Wait a minute. Actually, in this function, they said current fiber memo state is this this hook, and a hook also has this memo state. You can see that, right? Yeah, memo state is now 0, so hook actually has how should I see this? Okay, I'll just use separate line for this one. Memo state is 0. Yeah, cool. And base state 0 Q, and Q has a pending. The pending looks like something the new state, right? But then it initialized to empty. Actually, this is empty. So we have a Q actually. This is the Q. Oh. This is the Q. This is actually the false start, right? False header to hold any other thing. So this is the start. I would say the Q head. So this is the initialized, and then dispatch. Now return something. This is the memo state is initial state 0, and dispatch is a function, which is the dispatch function here. I log it. We don't use it yet because it's in the update phase, right? So yeah, and then return it. Now this is the hook, and this is in the app, right? When the app, here, mount state, when it is run, it was set up like this. I'll just add something here. Set up. And okay, the next one. Yeah, it return the value is 0, and a setState function. Yeah, return the amount. This is it. And in the app, we actually could continue. Finally, okay. Here, when it is run, and we got to return, right? So this is the whole function in this app. Okay, I'll make it bigger to make it more correct, I would say. Return children is this is app actually. Yeah, your state 0, it will call useState, and actually it will call this mount state, and yeah, mount state will set up with these hooks to this fiber node, and continue with app. We would get the right children and the fiber, and this will continue. I'll say perform unit of work cycle. So this is it. This is it. And the other thing is I will omit here. This is the normal mount phase. You can search on my channel for the detailed explanation, it should be the video 1 or 2. 1, I believe. Oh, 2? I don't remember exactly. Let's change the style a little bit. Here. Make it bigger. Text. And bigger. Should be. Set it to red. Font size, make it bigger, 2. Okay, now this is the mount, pretty simple. Remember, the dispatcher useState, mount state, just set up the initial hooks with the default state passed in the useState statement. Okay. Let's see what happens in the update phase. Right, when I click button. Update. Okay, now, okay, now when I click it, you see we've already set the debugger here, right? Of the dispatch function, which is return in the mount state. Okay, I'll say this is actually a function called the setState. I should change it back. This is disaster. This is disaster. This state function actually is returned by this mount state, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's say setState is actually with a callback, right? Callback like +1. Callback. No. A +1, something like this. When it is called, what's gonna happen? Let's debug it. Okay, now we can see that it created an update, which is an action. Action is our callback actually. This action, yeah, this is the action we see. Update and the queue. What is the queue? Let's first see the queue. Can we have the pending here? So the queue actually is hooked in this here. There's no pending here, right? Yeah, and then pending queue, pending. Because pending is now, so update next is its update. So we can see that when it is done, it actually will, okay. How should I separate this graph? Update. This is difficult to see, but since this is a video, I'll use a different color on this. Okay. Okay. So when it is called, it actually will create an update and chain it up by the next attribute on the queue, right? Queue, which is the hook. This one. So I'll change the color to style. The color should be something green. This is too light. That's just a dark green. No, not good. What about blue? This is blue? This is not blue, right? This is black. Where should I change the color? Oh, this one. Okay, green. This looks, shit. Okay, this looks good. Okay, actually it will create update with this. The action is this increment, right? We will chain it up by the actually the next. We will change all the colors to this. This is good. next. Great. When it is update, update, we can create an update and change it to the queue. And then let's see what happens. The alternate, fiber alternate here or else. Yeah, go to this one. Okay, this is 0. Alternate is null. Maybe here. And also, oh, you see that there's a schedule update on fiber. This is something we want to see, right? It's something we're familiar here. Okay, let's go. Last rendered reducer. Not now. Queue last rendered state, which is the queue. Last rendered state. Okay, 0. I forgot. There's another way. Another one actually for the head. It says. With the 0 what is that? Last rendered state, which is 0. Too small. Great. And then current state is this, and then we last render reducer action, eager state. We change the eager state. But maybe we don't need here to understand here what the eager state is. Anyway, it's just to create trigger our actions to pick at our new state, I believe. Okay, update. There is an eager state. Is it 1? Of course, because okay, it will calculate from this queue head update. Let's just write it down. Eager 1. Great. Now, if this is the same, obviously it's not the same, so we would. If it is the same, we return, right? But it's not the same. So we schedule an update fiber. So we create it and check it and find that okay, there's something we need to do, right? This is the dispatch function. Oh yeah, so dispatch function actually is not from here, but it's from here. Dispatch function. This is setState. We set it, and then we would schedule another stuff called schedule update on fiber. Well, this is something in the video 3 of this series. So if you're interested, please take a look. It's pretty easy. It's similar to our initial mount, but during the reconcile phase, when it's comparing the difference between the previous state and the new state, there will be something for me interesting. Anyway, when it is triggered, let's see what happens. Actually, it should be something called, I believe, it's still on the perform sync en route. It should be, okay, work loop sync. Yeah, this is a schedule, and okay, this is update. Move it downward. Schedule update, and then this should be another phase now. This is now rerender. This is called, okay. Schedule it, and yeah, here comes a work loop on sync. It will find the root, which is our root app, and compare the previous one and the second one, right? So, but the root actually is a function component. How we can know that it has changes? It is now only has the app fiber only has a hook and the queue and update queue. So update queue is kind of like something we need to update, right? It's update queue, and then how would we get it? Because we use state here. Shouldn't we just return the same thing? No, in this useState, we need to return different string. Let's see what happens here. Work soup and perform unique work and yeah, it should be begin work. We were very familiar with this one. Begin work, yeah, routine work. Okay, now here let's just go here. Current is this is the app root. Let's skip it. And now this one is the fiber node. Okay, let's switch the tags, and there was something here, yeah. Switch it, no, okay, come here. 0 is function component, yeah, and then we can see that this is update function component, right? Let's log it down. Update, oh, it still goes down here. I create a new one, update function component. Okay, let's see what's in it. Update function component. Yeah, this is prepare. Next children. Yeah, next children is window with hooks. Yeah, we've already seen it. Update function window with hooks. Reconcile children. Yeah, this is it. And now we render hooks with hooks again, right? Render hooks again. Yeah, so this is it. We render hooks again. So we'll move it here. Again. And then set it. Something different is here actually. Remember we have this dispatcher, right? Let's move it here. Render hooks. But this is it. We actually will call render hooks, but it's something different. Different now. The app is the same. Yeah. How should I do it? Okay. Yeah. Wait a minute. Oh no, yeah, it's the same. Render with hooks. But before here, actually, it sets the dispatcher to update, right? This is because it's current is not now anymore, it's update. So it's dispatcher on update. Before, actually, we have this dispatcher mount, right? This is something different. The dispatcher, now I would say, but put this bigger. Okay, this is the same, but this is the dispatcher, this is different. Okay, here. Dispatcher, this is mount dispatcher. I would say mount dispatcher. And now we have this new one called update dispatcher. When you update dispatcher, let's see what happens. Okay, obviously component now component. Oh, dispatcher should be. Oh, yeah, I made a mistake. Okay, this should be mount dispatcher, I believe. Dispatcher. So here is useState is mount dispatcher, right? Mount dispatcher. Now, ooh. We now render with the hooks. It will call this app again. But it's now update dispatcher. We will see the difference between the mount dispatcher and the update dispatcher. So app is the same, useState is the same, 0 is the same, but what we call is, yeah, it's app is called again. Now useState, it will be called again. Yeah, now we go to the useState. You can see that it's here, return upstate now, right? It's not mount state anymore, it's upstate. So dispatcher, mount dispatcher, useState. So here we actually have what? This is update dispatcher, useState, and it actually returns something else, which is called upstate, update state. These two are different. Color is good. I love colors. Okay. Oh, this is it. So now we update state, right? Initial state is still 0. Let's see what upstate is in it. It's update reducer, basic state reducer, update reducer. Let's see what it is. Okay, let's go to it. The last reducer, this is a queue, yeah. Now we have the pending. Remember, we already have this pending. Now the queue, last render reducer, this is reducer and blah, blah, blah. Pending queue, we get the pending. Eager state is 1, and next is itself actually. Okay, let's, it will be itself. Anyway, let's just mark it as the n. There's no big difference here. Appendix queue is here. It's not empty because it said, okay, there's something we need to do before the render. So it's not now here. Now we check the base queue. Base queue is now. Okay, now base queue is here, and here it say we actually remove the pending, right? Oh, I'm sorry, this is not next, it's pending. So now, when it is done, we actually cut the connection now. So it's now n, and now we need to handle this update, I believe, yeah? Base queue is now, okay. Base queue. Yeah, base queue is the pending queue now. Base queue, yeah, this is the base queue. And now we actually has a global, not global, local, I believe. This is the base queue. And then we see while loop here, right? Do while, check the next. We only has one update here, so we just run it for once. And then let's see, here and here. Let's go. Yeah, he got here. New base updates now. Okay, is now here. Okay. Come. So eager reducer is reducer. So now new state is updated with this eager state. We already calculated the state before, so we just use it. But if the reducer is not the reducer, it says action. This is an anonymous function, new state where we call the reducer. So anyway, we would call this increment function here to get the actual state, and then do what? New set to new state, right? The new state, and then new base state is new state, and blah blah blah. Here we can see that new state is 1. Now memory state is 0. It's not the same, so it's different. So it says work in progress, receive update, and in this I believe there will be some mark the nodes as update or something, mark the flag, did receive update, blah blah blah. Yeah, no problem here. And then hooks memory state is now set to 1. Hooks base state is set to 1. Last render state is set to 1. So the hooks is now updated, right? Hook 1, 1. Okay, so now the hook here is actually changed to 1. Let's update it with a new color. The head is still empty. Last render 1. So now it's updated. This app fiber has a new hook state, right? Okay, after it's updated, and we return new dispatch, and then the moment state is 1 now. So now what it has? So now here's actually we use upstate. Wait a minute. We update and we do here. It says process. It should be okay. Wait. Ooh, God. Should be process updates on hook. And after it should return this. As we see that it returns a new state, so it's become 1 now. So return new function. Return the new children. Return a new children. It has a different props on the button. Now the button, I say we make it add a button here. This is button fiber. And it is from props the children. Text node from 0 to 1, and then when it is done in the commit phase, this is rerender, and then there's commit, right? Commit, please take a look at my previous video. There will be detailed explanation about how React reduces the heavy work by collecting only the update nodes with a linked list. So this is it. Rerender schedule on fiber. Okay, this should be here. And then commit. It's just to update. Yeah, just update the button here. Just a minute. Cool. So this is it. So this is how the use state is working. Now there are two questions or two interesting part here. Is that we can see that the a fiber node actually holds the hook here, all right, in the memory state, and the queue to hold the update. Okay, I remove this. Is not interesting. This is not interesting at all. So why they're using this linked list stuff? So let's change our example here a little bit. The first one is actually we do use to state. Initialize to 100, 2, and also in the update we update twice. So now let's reload our app to see the difference. Okay, here, work, we can skip it, work, skip it, render with hooks, component, this is a use state, it should be mount state, this is mount state, and mount state, this is the same as before, we have this hook, and yeah, remember this state is wait a minute. Okay, here initial state is 0, so we put a queue there. That's nothing different. It's the same. Okay, now we have some new call to this use state, right? We have this new call to use state. Now let's see the difference. Okay, again, it's mount state because we have a two use state call here, use two, and then mount state, work in progress. Here's something different actually. We create a new hook, but now work in progress is not now anymore, right? Okay, I'll keep the work in progress. It's not the first hook, so actually it goes to here. It actually changed work in progress hook with next hook. So actually what it does is actually for multiple one, it has a hook twice. Two hooks with next. And then the initial state, obviously it's 100 now. Yeah, it's 100 now. Again, the rest is the same. Well, they will create a new queue head. Okay, let's move it a little downward. This is the queue, and I'll create a new queue, something like this. Okay, and then this is a new queue head. The initial state is 100. Yeah, and the rest should be the same. Now, when we click it, remember in our function call now, we have twice called the setState twice. Let's see what's the difference. The first call should be the same, right? Should be the same. Okay, the set up the pending. It is now we set up the update, right? Okay, the update, yeah, this is the action, the useState is 1, perfect. And then last render, blah blah blah. Last render is not now. Last render state. Last render. useState is 1. Schedule update. When in schedule update, remember it's only scheduled. It's not updated right away, right? So it's asynchronous. It's not synchronous. So it's only mark the root as updated. And then if we continue, you can see that the second call of the setState, right? And it actually creates a new update, right? And now the update ask actually has the action which is defined. Where is it? Here, this is ×2. Yeah, and then you see that pending is already there's something pending here, right? This is already the pending here. So it says the pending next is this new update. So it not only the hooks are chained up, but also the updates for each hook is chained up, which this one is next. Of course, this is pending. And then, is there an eager state here? Let's see. So now there's no eager state. It's on because I don't know. It says no something or names 0. Oh yeah, because I think that it means that it's already the whole app is not in the initial update state. So it's some marker says okay, now we're waiting for our new update. You cannot the data here used in this eager state calculations might not be right anymore, so we should not calculate the eager state. We just schedule on the update. So there's no eager here. There's no eager here. Okay, everything is scheduled. Now scheduled. Now we go to the same update function component. Go back here. Update. useState. Now this is which is the update dispatcher. The update dispatcher will check and the first hook and the second hook, I believe. Let's see. Begin work. Update function, yeah. And here is update function component, which is render with hooks. This is the update dispatcher. We can use it, and now update state is called actually. Yeah, update state. Update state. I think there's a while loop here. Yeah, here. Q. Wait a minute. The hook here. Oh, there. I need to pay attention here. Upstate state. Oh yeah. Upstate. Yeah, pending queue. It's not now. It has next and also another next, which is useState is now. So here is a while loop here. Yeah, the while loop here, and it will check the new state. We'll calculate it and then return it. Yeah. The while loop here, update, the next, yeah. Update it, and actually we'll return it. The new state is 2. My state is 0 because we +1 and times 2, right? Okay, so it mark working and update the hook. Hook is not updated to 2. Yeah, return it. And actually the use state of the second call, right? The second call is here. The use state here. Use state 100 is called. Let's see what happens. It will update the state again, but this render reducer, the state actually, the pending queue is now. Yeah, base queue is now, so it actually just go to the last and return the same thing, same stuff. So there's nothing to update. And then when this is done, the app returns the updated children, and the fiber reconciler will continue working on the children of this app and button and update everything at the commit phase. Okay, this here is update done. So this is it. And so why the order of the hooks are important? Why? Because we can see that actually we are checking on the working progress. It's in a linked list. There's no index, you know. There's no such thing as the array or something because it was linked list. So every time when it is called in this app, if the useState and useState2, useState3, they are chained up in here with next. Remember state, this is useState1, useState2, useState3. If there's some mistake by removing one of the useState call, like there's only got 1, 2 now, 1, 2, the working progress doesn't know. Working progress will only check the next one, right? It will check the next one, and then the date you want actually is some bad things happens, right? Now the third state becomes the second state. So why? But that doesn't break anything, right? It only updates the hooks. If I chain it up, if I just remove them, when I call this useState, oh yeah, there's a problem because suppose that originally there are 3 useState call, then there's 3 hooks linked up, right? Linked up. But if you remove the second one and then in the app, you only call the second, you call the third useState call, it doesn't matter, it doesn't make a difference. But internally, for the fiber, it doesn't know. It only has these 3 state. So when you're calling the third useState, actually the work in progress will point to the second, which is already deleted in your function call here, right? In your app here. So it will generate a different data. So that's why. So the core problem is that the fiber And the fiber structure is actually how should I say, is a representation of the whole app structure. Inside this function component, the hooks are represented in the linked list. They're not synchronous, right? If you did something different here, you need to reflect to the same structure. But which fiber doesn't know actually, because there is only function call here. The function will only be run and rerun. There's nothing say, okay, I remove it, please remove something from the fiber. No, there's nothing like that. The only thing that the fiber, the React knows is the function called times, right? If you call useState once, okay, I know it. You call it second, okay, I know it. So the order, the composition order is the only thing that React knows. That's why use these hooks. Use this linked list, or you can use array. Maybe for linked list is better for management. I'm not so familiar. I'm not so good at the algorithm stuff. Anyway, we've seen why the order and the consistency between each function call is so important among the hooks, right? If we don't manage to do that, the app will break on the data. Anyway, so that's all for this one. It's pretty interesting of the useState. I know. Okay, so at last, a bonus is that now you know that why it is. We should always write the function like this, right? Rather than the setState 2 or setState something 3, something like that. Because every time you call state, it actually is just a function. It's just a closure in the linked list of the update, right? You shouldn't suppose that what the previous state is. It should behaves like a pure function. Yeah, here, right? The setState actually is queued up, and it will only be run in the rerender phase and run one by one. So yeah. So when you say setState like this, okay, what's the state? Console log, what would it be? And what's the console log like this would be? Obviously, they all should be 0. Let's see. Click it. Yeah, 0. The only update after in the rerender phase. Yeah, that's it. Hope it helps. Very interesting and it's pretty easier to understand than the previous video. I would say. Okay, hope it helps. See you next time. Bye bye.